Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Iowa Style Outdoors today. We're down here at Goose Bottoms. It's September 8th, and we're just going to show you a couple food plots that we've been putting in today. But also we're going to check a couple trail cameras. We've been seeing some decent bucks down here. One's a for sure shooter. The shooter is a 10-point. He's pretty tall, about 14-inch G2s, but it'll probably be top of the hit list for one of our pro staffers, Collins Marine. We also got a buck that's got a funky eye guard. He's going down, and it's pretty cool, so it shows a lot of character. But there's another typical 10. He's decent, but we're probably going to have to give him a couple years. But stay tuned, and we're going to get her down Iowa style.
Welcome back to Iowa Style Outdoors. So here we are. This is our first food plot that we're going to show you. Got a camera set up right over here, but this is a turnip food plot we put in at the end of July, I believe. And it's coming up real nice, as you can see, real nice and lush. And turnip bulbs are just starting to get a little bit big, so this ought to be a killer food plot come fall. And so yeah, we've been getting a couple of buck pictures here. Nothing huge yet, but this is an area that the bucks never really stage up in the summer, but come winter and fall and winter, they really head into this area with the rut and everything, with a lot of does moving in. So the stand's got up right behind us in that tall tree, big cottonwood, and hopefully that stand will pay off and we can get a video of me hopefully shooting a nice buck in this spot.
Well, here we are checking the first trail camera of the day. We've been getting some pretty nice pictures on here, but we got about 80 some pictures today, so take out the SD card and see what's up. We've been getting a decent 10-pointer here, about 130 inches I'd say, but probably needs another 2 years. And then we get in this buck we call Drip Tine. He's got a crazy eye guard. It just goes up and then down. It's pretty cool, but let's check these pictures out and see if we can get a nice buck on here.
Food plot we planted. This one we planted about a week or two later than the one right next to us. Actually right over there, but I'm feeling this one's going to be really good come late season. Bucks will be coming out. We might put a blind right there next to this tree and muzzleload hunt out of it, so we'll see what happens, but this is just another try. Alright, here's another lot smaller food plot than what we usually put in, but we've got a stand set up right over here, double stand. And this food plot's really not a destination food plot, but we put it here so that way when deer are walking by, they might have more of a chance of letting them stop and grazing some turnips for a little bit and then hopefully get a shot at them. But other than that, this is the last of the turnip food plots. We'll get to a couple corn food plots. Alright, here's our last turnip food plot. It's right underneath the big box stand we got, set up right up there. But it's pretty thick in here. We'll see what it turns out to be like. It's really small again, but it just gives them something to come to hopefully. And shot many deer in that stand in the past, so we'll see what it's like.
Well guys, thanks for staying with us so far. We're checking one of the better cams that we've got so far. This is probably the shooter buck that we're going to harvest this year. So we got 69 pictures, so let's check them out.
Alright, here we are again, one of our better food plots. We got probably an acre of beans here and then 2 acres of corn back behind us. we're not going to harvest any of this. We're going to keep it all standing for the deer come winter. I think this is going to be a really killer spot. Going to have a lot of deer attracted just because of this one spot. But like I said, it's one of our bigger areas. Probably won't even hunt this. It'll be like a refuge, because all the spots we hunt are back further into the farm. So here we go. Here's another one of our food plots. Got this one planted back in May. It's probably the third biggest food plot we've got, about a ½ acre to 3/4 of an acre. It's kind of a funny story with this one. We got it planted back in May and nothing was coming up, not much rain during that real dry spell, and so we thought might as well go ahead and plant it again, just so, because we didn't think anything had germinated, and ended up everything came back up. So now we got twice as much corn, but seems to be doing all right. And so hopefully this is a food plot that deer really get attracted by, and we can hopefully harvest a pretty nice buck out of it.
The corn food plot we just showed you is directly right on top pretty much of this corn food plot right here. They're producing some pretty nice ears. I mean, the deer are starting to get into it, but as you can see, it doesn't look the best, but it's producing some pretty nice ears. So this is just another one of our corn food plots, and we got a couple more, so check it out. Well, this is the second largest food plot on the farm, and it's about 2 acres of solid corn, and as you can see, it's pretty tall and the ears are looking beautiful. I mean, this is going to be a great late muzzleloader season hunt, but definitely a destination food plot, and hopefully late season we get in here, get the camera ready, and put a big old booner on the ground. This is our sunflower plot right here. We mowed about probably almost the whole plot pretty much, but they were looking really good. I mean, filled with seeds as you can see, but doves are really getting in here. But we got one hunt already done in here, and we limited out the first day, so shot 105, but it's looking really good. But hopefully there'll be a little bit more hunting to do in here, but let's keep on checking it out.
Alright, we're down here in one of our duck hunting holes. We planted a bunch of sorghum in here this year. As you can see, a lot of these heads coming up really good. Smartweed's also coming in awesome. Ducks love that stuff. Now all we need is some water, but we got a blind right back there. We'll take you over and show it to you in a little bit. Well, this is what it looks like all through our wetlands. And we're hoping we get a nice little flood so that way we can have a good duck hunting spot this fall. If not, we might just have to pump water in and flood it. But stay tuned, I'll show you the duck blind. Alright, here's one of our sorghum food plots, basically the middle of the farm. This one's not so much a deer food plot, but there used to be a lot of pheasants down here in the river bottom, but ever since those floods back in 2008, really been tough seeing any. This year we actually had a few move in. Saw some quail last year, which was really nice. But this is it's looking really good. Behind me there's even bigger ones, but these heads will be full of seed, and pheasants should be able to get in here. There's a ton of cover, be out away from the predators, and quail maybe even if they stick around. But hopefully we can maybe shoot a pheasant out of this one this year. But yeah, this is the last food plot of the day, and now we're going to take you and we're going to put up a trail cam. So, getting her done out.
Well, we just found some pretty nice buck tracks here, so looks like a little highway here. It doesn't look like much, but we just put the camera here. The tree's bending back a little, so we had to improvise a little bit, but hopefully we can come back in a couple weeks, 2 weeks, a week, and see some nice bucks. But that's going to conclude our video for today. But our next video should come out later this week, and it's going to be dove hunting. We're going to dove hunt this afternoon, so we got pretty good field scoped out. There's about a little over 100 dove, but then later next week we're going to start youth season. Youth season starts on September 15th here in Iowa, so it's going to look pretty good. We got a couple nice bucks scoped out, so let's see if Collins and I can get on a nice youth buck. But thanks for tuning in to Iowa Style, and if you're going to do it, get it on Iowa Style. We do it all.
Thank you.